No, I cannot help it anymore, guys. It's 26 degrees outside, but it's the end of August. And it has been raining for a few weeks, but this was like 2 weeks ago now. And I feel like all of the summery feelings that I had before, they kind of vanished. And I cannot bring myself back to them. And now I see all this autumnal content online where people explain what kind of books they want to read and what they're looking for doing in autumn. And I feel like I kind of want to get ready for autumn as well. So I've put on a candle, I've done my nicest sweater, and I have some books gathered around me here that I want to be reading in autumn. Specifically, I have physical books, I have books I want to be reading on my ebook and as an audiobook. So we have lots of different options. And I'll just go and take you along for the ride. So this is going to be a recommendations video of things that I want to read, but I have not yet read myself. So I can't really give reviews. I can only tell you my intentions for this upcoming season. So we will start with one that I have started, I am in the middle of, and it's summery because it is set at a camp in the woods. But I've noticed that it's not really summer-esque, as in there's really hot weather or something. And it is a slasher, so it is more of a mystery horror, and that's why I would say it's more for spooky season as well. And that book is called Heads Will Roll. So I'm, kind of transitioning with this book from summer reading to autumnal reading, and I am enjoying it pretty much for the most part. And I'm looking forward to continuing on and starting my more spooky seasonal reading with Heads Will Roll. Then the next book is a new release, which you probably all have heard of, which is The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, the second book, or a companion novel to A Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna, which the first book I loved and adored, and I hope that the second book is just as amazing. I know it came out, I think in July, a few weeks ago, so it has been on the market for a while. I have not yet bought a copy. I'm not sure if I will, so maybe I will find other ways of reading it, like on my ebook, not in a physical version. But I'm looking forward to it a lot, and I think it's also seasonal because it's, concerning witches and things like that. So I hope it'll be a nice transitional book as well, and I will just enjoy it just as much as the first book. Yes, the third one is a new release as well, which is Katabasis, the new book by R.F. Kuang, the author of Babel and Yellowface. And I loved and adored Babel, and I liked Yellowface. And this is, I think, again, dark academia. It is set in Cambridge, and it's an academic setting, and I think both of the main characters go to hell in order to achieve some kind of quest. So it sounds quite autumnal for, rainy, cozy days. So I wouldn't want to read that during, summertime when you're going to the beach or something like that. Which is why when it comes out on the 26th of this month, so in August, I think it'll be one of the first more autumnal books that I will be reading. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope I enjoy it. The fourth book is one that I have started last year, continued this year, and then realized that it is quite autumnal. I think it is set in October or September. And that is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I started it and I really enjoyed the book. I think I started reading it in my local bookstore and I almost couldn't put it down, but then we had to leave. So I didn't buy it at that point. And so I know that I will be enjoying that. And it's also one of the books that is on my 2020 25 to read in 2025 list. So it has a higher priority because of that. And I already started it and I enjoyed it a lot. So I hope I will continue to do so once I pick it back up, once the season rolls around. Oh yes, the 5th book. Oh my god. The 5th book, funnily enough, is also the 5th book in the series. And this is a new release as well. I'm not sure when it's going to be released off the top of my head, but I think in September, which is drawing ever closer. So this is so exciting. And it's the 4th book in the Thursday Murder Club series. We enjoyed the first 4 books. As long, every time they got released, we all read them right away, my husband and I, and we're a big Richard Osman fan, so we also enjoyed, what was his newest release called? Something with murder. We Solve Murder, and I enjoyed that one as well. So yeah, I think his writing is tremendously good. It's really funny, his books, heartwarming, and it's very interesting perspectives of elderly people. I think main characters are often more, younger people in their 20s or 30s, but these main characters are pensioners, and I enjoy reading from their perspective. The next book I have, number 6, is actually one that I own physically because I ordered it online from a used bookstore. And it is by an author that I have read from. It's by Brom. And Brom wrote... I have it in the next room. Brom wrote... something with witches. I will probably come up with it in a minute or so. But anyways, this is The Child Thief, and you can see Brom does the illustration for his books himself, and it's always really, really nice. No, I will probably remember it in a minute or so. And this, as far as I know, is a retelling of Peter Pan, and I watched a movie with the story of the author who wrote Peter Pan, or it's the play. Barry, I think is his name, the real person who wrote that play, and I really enjoyed the movie. If I can remember the name, I will put it up here. Sorry that I'm blanking out so much, but anyway, this is also a retelling, and when I watched that movie I really felt a drawback to this book. It's quite big and also has very interesting proportions, but I really enjoyed his first one. Slewfoot. There it is. Slewfoot I really enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to this. So this is, I think disturbing, gripping, darkly fantastic, gruesome. So he has some body horror as well, and I enjoy that. And I think it's a perfect book for spooky season. Yeah, wickedly poetic. So yeah, I am enjoying the blurbs of that they have on this physical copy as well. So yeah, I'm interested to read more by Brom, and it's also illustrated with, I think, color. Yes. You can see here that is Peter in this retelling. So yeah, it looks really interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting into this. It'll be a longer project, but I am pretty sure I will enjoy his writing and the art style as well. Okay, we're halfway through my list because I have 12 recommendations, or things I want to read at least. The next one is also a physical book, which I have owned for quite a bit. I think I bought this in Great Britain when I was at some bookstore, I think in Oxford or somewhere. And it's Inkblood Sister Scribe. I think this looks really beautiful as well. I think this book had a hype maybe 2 years ago. and I have had it for almost 2 years, and it's also on my 2025 list because I put all my physical books on that list because I wanted to read the books that I already bought and paid money for. So this is by Emma Törzs, and it's also a bigger book, and I know that it's about 2 sisters and magic that is somehow channeled through rare books. So it's also, there's a mystery element. The sisters are estranged, so there's some family dynamic and dramas, and also the spells in the books are written in blood. So it all seems to me that it's very autumnal and witchy, mysterious and dark. So that's what I'm looking for the autumnal season, which is why I put it on my TBR. And hopefully I can get to it. But it's a longer book as well, so I will have to take my time. But I'm feeling the mood for this book coming on slowly, so that's really nice. The 8th book on my list, 8 is actually my lucky number, is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I bought this spring or beginning of summer when we were visiting with my husband's family. I have been creeping around this book for a while. I saw it online and I just love this cover. Isn't it beautiful? And I know this is the first of a series, so I knew that if I was going to buy it, I would be, getting myself into a series. But I started this at the bookshop where I bought it, and it sucked me in right away. I read maybe the first 2 chapters and I was really intrigued. I am getting into sci-fi more and more in the last years. I think when I was younger I didn't really read sci-fi, but now that I'm older I can really get into this genre. I think it's sci-fi fantasy combination and also a bit literary because it just deals with lots of topics of society and what's a good life and things like that. I think that's what I know so far, and I'm interested to see. It's not too long. I think it'll be a very good break up between all of these more fantasy leaning works of art. All right, number 9. This is one that I have already started listening to on audio, and it's A Curious Beginning. So it's the first in the Veronica Speedwell series, and it's I would say historical mystery / natural scientific book. And I know this is like a 17-part series. I just wanted to check it out. I started the audiobook, and with audiobooks, for me, it's really easy to get into more intimidating books. I think I started this physically maybe at the beginning of the year. I checked it out on my ebook, I think, but I stopped reading it for some reason, and now I thought it was time to get back into it. So I started it, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm like 1 hour out of 12 hours in, and I think I will continue it. Not sure if I can, decide whether to continue the series, but the first book I can give a try. So it made it onto my list, and I think it's also a good transaction from summer to autumn, if I'm in the mood for some more mystery detective-like story, I think. And also a bit of adventures. Yes. The last 3 books I will probably read on my ebook. I'm not planning to buy them physically, and I don't think there are audiobooks for all of these. But the first one is Immortal Dark. Sorry if I can't say the author names for all of them, but I haven't wrote them down, but I think it's something with Urgrist at the end. And Immortal Dark is, I think it's a vampire story, and I've been intrigued by it for a while, but the spooky season wasn't around, so I didn't start it, but I am willing to pick it up this season. And then the last, 11th out of 12 book is Someone You Can Build a Nest In. I think this was recommended via a YouTube video by someone, and the story really intrigued me. I think it's more horror leaning, but it's a fun horror, so some quirky characters, I think. It sounded really intriguing to me. And I also like to mix it up a bit with regarding to genres. So I think Immortal Dark, Someone You Can Build a Nest In, and also The Child Thief are more horror-esque books that I've put on this list. And then lastly, I have a fun romance novel. It's the second in a probably interconnected standalones, I think. And it's My Vampire Plus One. I read My Roommate is a Vampire last spooky season and I enjoyed it. I think it was a good book. I had a good time with it and I remembered this. And I saw the second book in my local bookshop and I was like, oh, there's a second book come out. And I think there's also a third book out. And the third one, I think, centers around a road trip, which I think would be fun as well. But this is, I think, just the Vampire Plus One, which is probably a fake dating trope, I would guess from the title. I don't really want to know too much about this because I enjoyed the first one and I just want to get into the second. So if I want to switch it up with some light and fun romance novel, then I have this option on my TBR. So yeah, I think this is quite a broad variety of books. Some of them new releases, some of them have been on my TBR for a longer time. For example, Spells for Forgetting or Inkblood Sister Scribe. So I'm interested to see how much of them I will get to. I feel good about all of them. I think I have some that I would prioritize. Others are not as important to me. I will always try to prioritize my physical reads over ones I can get on ebook, for example, because yeah, I have them physically here, so I really want to get to them. But the new releases like Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping or Katabasis, for example, I can either listen to an audiobook in my app. For Katabasis, I am planning to do that. And the Witch's Guide, I think maybe I will read on ebook and then buy later on, because I'm always waiting for certain editions to come into my local bookstore, and in Germany that doesn't happen too fast. So maybe I will read it now in a non-physical form and then buy it later for my stack of books here at home. So I hope maybe you took some of this onto your own list. Maybe it was of interest to you, and I'd be intrigued to hear what you're prioritizing for this upcoming season. I don't know. I am just looking forward to all of the hot beverages. I hope it's going to be raining soon. I miss rain, even though it rained for, 2 weeks straight, but still I have not had enough. I want it to be cooler so that you can wear your cozy clothes and cuddle up in bed. But maybe I should enjoy the sunshine as well, because seasonal depression is a thing too, so maybe one should enjoy the sun while it's still here. But anyway, I hope this was of some inspiration to you, and I will keep you updated on how my reading goes this season.